What's going on, everyone? This is Michael Stewart Isaacs.
And this is Shemeka Ebony.
And this is your next edition of
Sunday
Stacks.
Stacks.
Sunday Stacks back in full effect. We are excited to be back here on the Alive Podcast Network. We are so happy to be alive, and we're happy you have joined us once again on this wonderful, phenomenal Sunday morning. So many things have gone on, so many great things that we've worked on conquering this week. As we always encourage, we focus on a simple concept here at Sunday Stacks, our FCC, family, community, and company. Yes. And we want to make sure that you all understand that those are the things we look to stack up week for week. And we want to make sure that as our listening Sunday Stacks crew out here, that you are making sure that your life is stacking up. So we are so happy that you are back again. We hope you've been enjoying previous episodes of Sunday Stacks. It has been our pleasure to continue to just be able to be in a position to experience some phenomenal different positions in life and bring it back to you, our audience, so you can grow and be edified and really get some unique insights to really pull all the pieces of your life together, so week for week things stack up for you as well. As we start each episode, we always like to ask, me and Shemeka like to kind of talk and banter in regards to some of the things we've done in the week. So as we ask, I want you to think for yourself. But Shemeka, how's it stacking for you this week?
Oh, it has been a beautiful week, Michael. I'm overjoyed. My cup is filled. I got a chance to hang out with my two sisters in Fayetteville as we got the boys' haircuts for upcoming Charlotte photo shoot. It felt good. I had, I'm a middle daughter, in between two. I have an older sister and a younger sister, and my younger sister and I have children that are around the same ages. So it's always nice when the cousins can get together and hang out. So that was really good. I had a pleasure and honor of seeing my nieces and just speak life and instill love and joy in the moments that we share. Look, even as we're planning new ones to come, it's always good when you can get those in between moments like it was this week. So that felt really good. How's it stacking for you?
Ah, man, so many great things been stacking up, just preparing for, just building for these kids and building for the family. Just watching the boys this week has been amazing. The Brilliant Bunch, shout out to the Brilliant Bunch, G and Max, always just keeping me inspired. This week I got to spend some time just hanging out with them. They had a day off of school, just enjoying what fatherhood gives me as a leader in community and a leader in business. Fatherhood just kind of really helps me understand the importance. One, when I deal with my children, they really just kind of help me have to be a leader. I have no other choice but to give them the right direction and the right temper and the right, edification to help them grow. So I had a great time just working with them. So many things I just think have been stacking. We have such preparations for this week. I had a great opportunity, Shemeka, would you believe? I had the chance to sit in on a unique virtual experience by the USPTO, which is the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Mm-hmm. And for those who know, my core business and company, outside of being your favorite co-host here at Sunday Stacks, I'm also an entrepreneur and a business owner, and a lot of my work is in intellectual properties. I've been working with trademarks and different things of that nature for many years. Mm-hmm. And I like to sit in on any education that I can get from the USPTO in regards to next waves and some of the changes that are happening. And I tell people out there, as most people out, they think about real estate and investments in stocks, but one of the best things you can do, especially in a creative economy, is own your intellectual properties and really understand how to not only secure it but also bring value to it. And that's we own it, right? That's kind of part of our motto here with Sunday Stacks, is that we own it, right? We're I Am Brilliant. We're a production team with me and Shemeka producing this Sunday Stacks content. We produce so many other things across the country. So when I sit in these events, I get to educate myself on how to improve my brand, but then also have clients that I help them build their brands, and I just get the latest, greatest insight. So it just feels good that when things are stacking up for me and I'm educating myself and really being able to apply it in real time, it stacks up for the people I'm in partnership with. So I'm always grateful. Anything else going on this week, Shemek? I know we got some special announcements to give the people. What we about to tell them and what we got going on?
Absolutely. So this week we have the honor and pleasure of creating an experience in the Charlotte-Gaston County area with the Global Black Women's Chamber of Commerce. I am a member via Black Girl Magic Market, and Shemeka is serving as one of the sponsors that's going to be bringing this event from 1 to 3 p.m. Business owners from all across are coming and gathering together, and to be able to be a part of that and connect with powerful women and have Ambassador Sujay here representing Global Black Women's Chamber of Commerce and what's to come and how to get involved. I've been involved since I think probably a year after the founding, and I have been very excited about what's to come. And so having North Carolina be put on the map and representing the state of Black women, not only being a part of this panel on Sunday, but also participating in the State of Black Woman event in December. So we're bringing power and energy to Black women business owners and entrepreneurs. So if you're in the area, I was so glad to meet you, or catch us next time when we meet up and convene.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We're excited. And so many great things are just coming out of the Charlotte area. So shout out to Charlotte. Shout out to Fayetteville, where we get our haircuts with the fam, just really connecting and just being able to crisscross across the state of North Carolina has just been an amazing thing for us. And we love our state and just all the things that are just growing. A lot of things have been going on this week as well, but we'll touch on that in later parts of our segment. But definitely excited in regards to just what we're able to stack up week for week. Part of what we want to do is also give a full-on third quarter recap. We're at the point now where this episode we're releasing, this is September 29th. And we're at the point where anybody that's tracking the calendar understands this is the third quarter in your business, right? And so we've looked at the time when we've transitioned recently to the equinox, where you go from the summer to the fall and the seasons start to change. You lose a little bit of daylight time in the evening time. And so you have to really plan and prepare yourself a little differently than how you had in the summer. So I hope a lot of you all had successful summers out there and really put in the work that it really takes to set up opportunities for yourself going into 2025. But now closing out the third quarter, we got to prepare for the fourth quarter. So that means a lot of execution that you should have been planning last year in 2023 going into the fourth quarter for this time period. That's what you have to understand, because you have to think about the Black Friday sales. You got to think about all these other types of things that you have to position your business for, depending on what type of entrepreneurship you do or whichever types of business deal making you're trying to put together. But the third quarter is the end of the negotiation season. So I hope a lot of you all have gone out there and put some phenomenal projects together. I've seen some great announcements come through some of my news wires, and I'm just again celebrating what's possible. And that's what we do here at Sunday Stacks. Not only are we just sitting here talking about how we're stacking up, it's because we're really practitioners and coaches and consultants out here in the business community, and we give a lot of great philosophy. I teach through a concept called Entrepaganda, which is just business, propaganda, really teaching people how to build their name and build their mindset differently. So, we're definitely excited about some of the initiatives, excited about all the projects you have going on, Shemeka. You've done a phenomenal job just closing out the quarter. Any nuggets you want to share on some of the different events or highlights that you've been able to do in the third quarter that stood out to you in any way that can help our audience?
Absolutely. So we had the pleasure and honor of launching the Leadership Empowerment Group that we've been meeting every first and third Monday. There's still some time in 2024 for you to tap in and be a part of that. That is about, serious leaders and business owners that want to create a pathway forward that's more sustainable, focused, and that accountability you need to get to the place and space you want to become. So definitely have some more Mondays in 2024 to sign up. So definitely make sure you are connecting with us. I would also lift up an incredible opportunity for us to get up virtually, all women leaders, business owners. We are meeting together for the quarterly meetup, as we are going to be coming into October really soon. So October 8th, we're going to have a virtual version of that. You can actually sign up for all of our quarterly virtual and in-person meetings all throughout October 2025. Shemeka is also sponsoring that, and very excited to bring a networking space, a building space where we're focusing on how to grow our capacity and potential. So definitely check us out on calendly.com/Shemeka. You can check us out on ShemekaEbony.com, blackgirlmagic.market. These resources are available, and if you are looking to see how you can firm up how you're growing your capacity in the closing of this quarter, definitely tap into how we're connecting. Look at our resources we have on several platforms, on YouTube, on Shemeka Ebony channel. There's playlists to help you grow. So if there's anything you need for support, we're absolutely here and available. And I'm excited about what's coming in the next quarter also for Sunday Stacks, as we are integrating a live in-person listening session. So I want to tap in and just sneak that information out.
We got
there
something cooking up for you all.
We're celebrating that. So that is going to be launching in November, and I think it's going to be good, well-timed, and much needed.
That is amazing. And I have to talk about our upcoming segment moving into the fourth quarter, as we're looking at different ways to grow our platform and continue to connect it to all the different initiatives that we have going on in the marketplace. We have to announce that we are creating a new segment here on Sunday Stacks for our Black Girl Magic Market sponsorship partnership. Yes, Black Girl Magic Market initiative that Shemeka has been a part of for so long has now agreed to partner with Sunday Stacks, where we're going to create a special ad segment, and there'll be more to be announced that we'll put out there. But we're allowing for women of color, women who are building these phenomenal businesses, to have a chance on our Sunday Stacks platform here on the Alive Podcast Network, and of course on YouTube, to be able to have the full exposure of our in-person events and announcements of their services, as well as tie into all the different initiatives that Black Girl Magic Market has going on, as well as us being able to tell their story across our Sunday Stacks listening audience. So we're so grateful for this partnership and the belief that Black Girl Magic Market has put in Sunday Stacks to continue to uplift these voices. Thank you, Shemeka, for brokering it and bringing that together.
Absolutely.
And I mean, what can you tell a little bit about, how this could, be something people can be a part of?
Well, I would say I would amplify this as a kickoff, is that I want to show in practice what this could look like. So we're going to be amplifying your business. Like this week, we're amplifying Dianu. I've been in partnership as a partner with what she's been doing since she launched this clothing brand in the pandemic. And so if you have not experienced Dianu and you have not seen me wearing it, then definitely go tap in and do yourself a favor. Check out Dianu at DIYANU.com and use code BlackGirlMagic to get yourself some savings and experience what supporting Black women in business looks like from theory to practice.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So with that, we are going to transition into our main topic this week. We thank you all for being here with Sunday Stacks, as we always try to not only tell you how it stacks up week for week, as well as telling you some of the ways that we're bringing family, community, and company together. We are now diving into our message of today, our main topic. And today, if you've been a listener of Sunday Stacks, or if you're new to this series, we have gone through several different topics that have really been a deeper reflection, where it's good to talk about how we get our finances right, but it's even more important to talk about how we get our spirit right. Mm-hmm. And so here at Sunday Stacks, we try to create a segment here with our main topic that's inspiring. And this week, we did not disappoint. And the topic of today is pray, and pay. So when I say that now, we're talking about pray. Like, put your hands together like our Father who art in heaven, pray. P-R-A-Y. And then we talk about pray, P-R-E-Y. And then we talk about pay. So as we break these things down, right? Pray, and pay. I start to take a deeper reflection. It's been such a unique week where I realized that as a leader, I have to realize that there's nothing in my control ever. That my pure goal every day is to take business, and I have to figure out how to organize it. And the one thing I've learned in my prayers is that the Father that I serve, the God that created me, the great creator, is someone who I can activate and come into contact with by praying. And through those prayers, I realized that I can ask for my hands or my mind to supersede my own simple ability when I'm able to pray over the things that I truly want to see, that God has given me vision to do, but I know I cannot do it without God.
Yes.
And so that prayer has been able to lift me and take me to another level of what's possible in my own doing. And I offer that first pray to you. Now we talk about pray. And when we talk about pray, P-R-E-Y, that is a term that sometimes when we think about nature, you have the prey. Like that's something that some kind of predator is always thought about when you think about a prey. But in this prey that we're looking at, we're not looking at it from a predatory standpoint. We're looking at it from a place of deeper dive and research into things. And how do we study things that we need to survive and overcome? Right? When we think about a predator, we make them as if they're always trying to victimize a prey. But sometimes that predator does things to survive. And so when we look and analyze our own way that we prey on things, in the way that we try to find a position, try to find that job, try to find opportunity, we always have to look at the first prayer versus this other prayer. And this different praying has a different context in regards to that, what we get and what we're trying to build in our own lives. Mm-hmm. But when we look at this final dynamic of pay, now let's be honest out there, anybody out there, we all adults here, anything that we've ever really wanted in life, even when we were kids, when our parents said no, we knew we had to pay the full price before we were able to have or inherit. So now as I walk you through this pipeline of praying, asking God to increase your ability to handle more, then in that, to build kingdom, you have to pray on things that aren't seeing their full potential. But then ultimately you have to pay. You have to go deeper and invest in the things that you want to see differently. See, I think what we have to start doing is using language in more healthier ways that allow for us to start to take away all the psychological mumbo jumbo that has allowed for us to put ourselves in a bad position of not knowing how to be a decent human being. We're creating too much obstacles because we've created these pray, and pay, and we use them in negative ways. Our goal here is to expand the topic matter to help you see things in more positive ways, but also understand that if you ask for more, you will have more to fix the problems that we see every day. We don't have to sit back anymore and be victimized by anything if we really understand our full power. And here at Sunday Stacks, my goal is to give you a sense of my power so you too can figure out when you pray, you have something listening that's going to help. When you pray, when you're out here searching and finding opportunities, you're doing it with the diligence of survival. But when you pay, you know that that's the final obstacle towards access, is your ability to pay the full price for everything you're a part of and what you're asking for. So when you do it in that order, you make sure that your mindset is clear and what you receive in this world is something that will bring you to a greater fruition. So as I know I dropped a lot in that, Shameka, you got any opinions on that?
Thank you for lifting that and really awesome reflection. I was really just processing my own journey and where I see my lived experience in these areas, and I think about it through the lens of business, especially being a woman in business. It's like you can't have a business without having faith, and you can't, think that you can just believe God for miracles and not have works that go along with it. And any entrepreneur knows that having a business, having a dream takes a whole lot of work, and prayer has to be inclusive of it. Or when we get too busy to pray, we notice those hits that our businesses take too. Just as quickly as we got up, we can be deflated as well for getting distracted. For those of us that are called to kingdom business. For those that are called to something greater than getting yourself rich. So y'all know who y'all are. So
you listen to Sunday Stacks.
Right, that's the audience that we're reeling in, because when we want to center family, community, and company, it has to be done in prayer. It has to be done with meditation. It has to be done with intent. And so when you were lifting up pray, that made me think about sitting when we were down in Miami. It was a UBS session interview, and he talked about hunting and those that go out and go after and
Gotta
in
go get it.
pursuit of those resources and funds and partners and investors that your business needs. You have to have that type of energy to be that, and if you're not that, you have to find that for yourself. And so that's what came to me with that. Even if we feel like we're not as aggressive as we need to be, or if it doesn't fit our personality, we don't have readiness, you have to be connected. Someone in your circle, someone that knows the vision as well as you, that can go after and speak of you in those rooms, which I think aligns too about our witness.
Right.
You know, those that are hunters are witnesses of making those deals where people that are not present in the room because they see something in it that can make it happen. So thank you so much for lifting that and thinking about how we pulled all this together. You know, it's a price to pay. It's something that came up when you're hunting and you have ill intent mixed in there with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just as much as it is a price to pay, that there could be some sacrificing of those when that ascension happens.
Mm-hmm.
The expansion of your territory, your time shifts, your needs shift. So understanding that these things, success comes at a cost, and it's going to look different for all of us that are on a kingdom business journey. So Michael, thank you for allowing this to be a focus of helping us be more aware of where we are, how we're focusing our pray, pray, and pay journey, and how we build ourselves up in leadership capacity and be that man or woman of integrity that is leading business into the next generation.
I love it. Thank you. And I hope the audience got something out of that. Please leave some nuggets in the comments. If you're listening here on YouTube, definitely we'd love you to like and subscribe, but also leave something in the comments. Let us know your thoughts on it. Pray, and pay. And this is definitely something we want to continue building off these conversations. We bring these wonderful segments to you in our main topics. But right now we transition to our most popular topic, which is the Whiz of the Week. Yes, the Whiz of the Week. Yes, we like to take the gossip that hits the headlines and bring some more sense to it when we really combine our main topic to it. And this week has been so many things. First, we want to send our prayers to those out that have experienced the effects of Hurricane Helena that has been going and ripping across the East Coast, around the coastal areas. Definitely it came through here where we reside out of North Carolina, in Western North Carolina. So we definitely want to make sure that we are shouting that out and those who may have been affected by it. We also have to break down all the headlines of this week. We've had the Fed charge of the mayor of New York, Eric Adams, with bribery. We had Trump discussing different topics like protecting our agriculture from China. Is our agriculture in danger, y'all? And also, of course, we cannot ignore Sean Combs charged with sex trafficking and racketeering. This expanding case, more people coming on trying to express their different terrible times with this man. Where are we going to start this whiz this week, Shemek? How are we going to unpack all of these different headlines that have been going on?
Well, I'll say, I guess we'll lift up first with Western North Carolina. Definitely my heart goes out to Asheville, Boone area, Buncombe County. Just knowing we have so many connections and people there. We've done business there. We've met new friends there. We're in relationship with the small business community there. And while you all are renewing and restoring, please just let the community know what you need. You don't have to handle this by yourself, but that's definitely one of the things that is happening that's impacting many of us. I'll lift up too with Mayor Eric Adams.
Oh boy.
I remember looking at an interview on the Breakfast Club some while back when he kind of called it. He called that Black mayors across the U.S. are being targeted. We've seen it with Dalton, the town of Dalton, Illinois mayor. We're seeing this now with him with a meticulous look. We can go down the list of others that we've seen this year, but it's something unique about the timing of this that is just so significant in this election season.
Election season. I want to bring out the worst in people. I think, looking at it for some of what the charges are, dealing with Turkish officials and creating some kind of bribery based on airline tickets and so many different things. I mean, how many people in politics have probably gotten airlines tickets from somebody that upgraded them and never looked at it as a financial transaction, but just as them getting it because of their status, right?
Listen, I think about the brainwashing of favor, right? Mm-hmm. That favor ain't fair, but favor can be turned criminal. Like a favor comes with an expectation sometimes that somebody else want a favor. And so you see this play out with this example. I think it was with some email exchanges or something that has been documented. It's like, all right, your turn. Yeah. So there's some expectations, and I feel for elected officials because you would think the salary you get, the public service you have to do, and the decisions you make, and the thing that you carry on your shoulders. If someone wants to give you a ride down the street, my goodness, and this time it has to be documented. You got to admit that you were not trying to give this in this case, or in some cases I've seen people return gifts because it was over the limits of their moral and ethical standards of their employer.
But I understand this, right? We have a former president who is out here talking about agriculture. He's still meeting with President Zelensky, doing all things as if he's still a president or he could win, right, as they say. But when you look at it and you see how much corruption, this man is actually charged with 34 felonies, yet he's still able to run for president. And now they're asking Mayor Adams to step down because he might have took some plane ticket favors and helped somebody with a building code violation. I get these things are illegal and serious crimes, but is it even taken serious in a world that has a Donald Trump still running for president, convicted, felon? Mm-hmm. See, again, it shows to you that the attack on people of color who are coming into these spaces may be green, right? They don't really know. And maybe it's for the green, right? That's why we talk about this episodes. Pray, and pay. Mm-hmm. And this paradox of if you treat it in a negative light, you can have issues. And if you treat it in the positive light, you can make yourself have some caution in regards to how you move. So when we look at all of these different things, we got to talk about this in context of Sean P. Diddy Combs, right? This gentleman out here is still, all these allegations, all these years of him being a predator in these spaces, a man who came across like he loved God and all these different things, yet we overlooked the sexual inhibitions and the illegalities that the music glorified that was being lived on this lifestyle in private, in the dark. And now when it brought to the light, it don't stand up to any good character. And this is something that you could say this man is being attacked, but also he has to live with his own conscience of his decisions. And this is something that this whole point of what we try to do with the Wizard of the Week is say, these things are distractions, y'all. When this is happening, guess what? It's not being talked about. The UN just had a full-on meeting where you had people in the United Nations talking about the unfair practices that are happening in the foreign nations that aren't able to get reparations. Mm-hmm. But when they want to go to war to stop Russia from taking Ukraine or to offer bombs to different countries for their own purposes of eradicating the people who are harming them, they always tell us as African Americans, whether from a local standpoint, you look at what happened in Chicago, and you look at the flood of migrants who got money over the citizens. You look at what's going on internationally, black nations who have needed money and that are smaller nations that don't need so much to be able to prosper, to be able to create greater trade opportunities. They're denied all the time because of lack of money. But whenever there is something of other nations, of people who have backdoor politics to old things from the other eras, they seem to get all of what they need greenlit, and it's always more than enough that people are willing to take on to support those factions. So we just got to look at things more critically, y'all, and understand when we're distracted with these other things like Eric Adams, the Puff Daddies, and all these other things. We're missing UN meetings. We're missing all these other significant things that can help us be aware of not only international issues, but also things that are happening in our own country and the decisions our politicians and those elected officials are making. So just keep that in mind, y'all. Remember, we got to pay. So as always, I love to talk to you all. We got to wrap up our episode. As always, we thank you for joining us here on the Live Podcast Network, as well as the here on YouTube. Make sure to like and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We do appreciate you. And as we always wrap every episode, we always say, I am brilliant and you are too. Thank you again for joining this edition of Sunday Stacks. We love to stay, but we'll see you next week. Peace.